What would you do with $1 million? Would you buy a nice house, a car, designer clothes? How much would you spend? But more importantly, how much would you keep? In 1997, John McGuinness won £10 million in the lottery. He chose to go on a luxurious car spending spree, which led him to losing it all. He had a £140,000 Ferrari, but he was broke. According to statistics, 70% of lottery winners end up broke, and a third declare bankruptcy. Why is this? Is it because basic personal finance education is not taught in schools, leaving us completely at the will of our own ignorance at the off chance we do win the jackpot? Or is it because our capitalist society preys on our insecurities, prompting us to show off our cash in exchange for acceptance? Or is it a bit of both? At the beginning of this video, I asked you how much you would keep if you won the lottery. Have you ever been asked that? Have you ever even thought about that? I hadn't until I started my personal finance journey. We live in a very consumerist society that teaches us from a young age that money can be used to buy things. Need a new shirt? You have to buy it. Need a new car? You have to buy it. Need a vacation? You have to buy the flights, hotel, etc. The thing is, none of these things will help you stay rich. Wearing clothes will cause wear and tear. Even if you do sell them, you'll have to sell them at a discount. Cars depreciate in value the moment you drive them off the lot. Yes, vacations feed the soul and are essential for personal well-being in many ways, but they don't feed your wallet. We've already talked about lottery winners who lost it all. What about lottery winners who didn't? What can we learn from them? Well, they had one thing in common. They invested in assets. They put their money in places that helped them make more money. Some in the stock market, some in real estate, and some in their own businesses. There's a misconception that millionaires and billionaires just have wads of cash sitting in their bank accounts. This is just not true. Most of these people spread their wealth amongst assets such as property and stocks. Assets can help you build your wealth and even make passive income from it. When it comes to assets, it's important to understand that there are depreciating assets and appreciating assets. Depreciating assets lose value over time. These are things like your car or your technology, your laptop, your phone. Appreciating assets gain value over time. These are things like stocks or property. Something that's really important to know about the stock market is that it takes time to generate wealth. So if you need that money right now, it's not a good investment. If you don't have any money in savings, you should not be investing in the stock market. You should be prioritizing saving for an emergency fund that is 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. The longer you have your money in the stock market, the greater chance it has at increasing in value. If you need that money within the next 5 years, don't invest this way. Money sitting in a bank account won't pay you dividends, which is essentially money that you get as a thank you from businesses for holding their stocks. It won't pay you rental income for properties that you could own. Money sitting in a bank account just does that. It sits in a bank account and does nothing, except depreciate in value thanks to this pesky little thing called inflation. With inflation, you are essentially paying to keep your money in a bank account, which is why wealthy people don't do this. Why lose money when you can make money off of your money? It's because of this that it's entirely possible for someone with a high salary to live paycheck to paycheck. If they're spending all of their disposable income on depreciating assets instead of appreciating assets, then they'd be completely screwed if they suddenly became unemployed. It's so easy to get swept up in the addiction that is consumerism. Brands play on our insecurities to buy their products. We look at our coworker with a nice car and think we want that too. We believe materialistic items bring status when in fact, they only empty our wallets. I want you to think back on the last time you saw someone in a really fancy car or a really beautiful dress. I want you to remember what you thought about in that moment. Did you think about the person, or did you think how cool it would be if you had that car or if you had that dress? We have it in our heads that other people care about what we look like or what we have. So when we see someone in a fancy car or in a beautiful dress, we think to ourselves, oh, it'd be so cool to have that because other people will think I'm cool. Other people will accept me. Other people will want to be me. And yet, when we look at that fancy car or that beautiful dress, we don't think about the owner. We don't think that person who has that item is cool. We couldn't care less about them because all we're thinking in our heads is, I want that car for myself. I want that dress for myself. And this is why marketing is so clever, because they prey on our insecurities. Every one of us wants to be accepted. Every one of us wants to be loved. And brands sell these products to us with the message that if we had this item, we will be accepted. We will be loved. If I buy this anti-aging skincare, then people will accept me because people don't don't like older women. Society doesn't accept aging. For men, it's I need to buy this car to be able to attract women because I will be demasculated without it. So much about marketing is preying on our insecurities so that if we just choose to love ourselves just a little bit more, we won't feel the need to have to buy all these things. We care so much about what other people think about us, and yet those people, I guarantee you, are thinking way more about how people perceive them than how we look or what we have. People don't realize how much our egos get in the way of being able to save and manage our money because we feel pressured to buy things that we don't need in order to impress people that don't give a crap about us. Ultimately, if you can get really good at keeping money instead of spending it, it doesn't matter how much money you make. If you're bringing in $2,000 a month and you're only spending half of it because you're living well below your means, that gives you $1,000 to put into investments. Your money will grow much faster than someone who's on $10K spending $9.5K on their luxurious lifestyle. Now, obviously, only living on $1,000 a month does come with its own challenges, but it might be worth it in the short term if you're working towards specific financial goals. Let's not forget that money is subjective. £1,000 or $1,000 to one person might mean a lot of money, but to another person it might not. There are so many factors involved, such as if you have kids or not. Do you live in a city? Do you not? Cities are more expensive than the countryside. $1,000 stretches a lot further for some people than others. Being rich is not a goal that you should have because being rich can be temporary. All those lottery winners that lost it all were rich before they weren't. You need to focus on building up your wealth by putting your money to work, whether that be investing in stocks, real estate, or building up your own passive income generating business. And if you're on low income, don't wait until you have more money. There's an assumption amongst broke people that we can't afford to save or invest when that's simply not true. If you want to learn how I save 30% of my income living on minimum wage in London, might I add, click this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.